So
And
we
you know,
got
if you
this
just
clear
mix
the
it all
cameras.
the pepper and the spices, the onions and the fennel and the red pepper and the black
You know,
pepper.
walk in front of the set.
It gives it that like pepperoni feeling.
Like Waldo, just want
Brad Wyman. Wow.
I mean, it's
I'll
not
do a
gonna
little
be
behind the scenes of Blythe. This is Brad Wyman. Yeah, he's a man of many words, but not when the red light's on, so it's fine. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your great opinion.
So then we just put, you know, easy breezy tomatoes on it, and then I'm going to show you guys the pepperoni is done. It's a pepperoni. So how do we do the pepperoni? This is how we do the pepperoni. What is pepperoni about? Spice. It's about the spice. So it's all about the spice. So it's really easy to do it. Look at this watermelon radish. Do we see this watermelon radish on overhead? Is this gorgeous hallelujah time? For real. Like, oh, real. Anything that's bright pink in nature just blisses me out. So, really easy. I just use the mandolin here.
You know, radishes are ready to eat from within 30 days of planting from seed.
Now, tell me more. That's easy. So, like, you put a little seed, how much into the earth? 2 inches, 1 inch?
Oh, not even like a quarter inch.
Quarter inch into the
They're
earth.
tiny little seeds. In fact, you can use them to mark rows for seeds that take longer to sprout because they sprout so quickly and they're done by the time the other seeds germinate and have emerged.
That's a great note.
And lots of different varieties. So, like you have those, or most people haven't seen those.
Yeah, most people haven't seen watermelon radishes. That's a really good note. I'm gonna grow some radishes.
You should.
And they're so good for your liver. They're so good for your kidneys. They're really cleansing. They're a great diuretic. Help you just kind of like
And
get all of
spicy.
the. Yeah, and they got a little kick.
I went out to Midway Atoll, which is where most of this plastic collects, and just saw some of the most horrific sights. And then you come home and you're like, well, how does this pertain to me? And what does that mean for me on a day-to-day basis? And how do I help out? You know,
Yeah.
the first thing is like, how do we clean this up?
Right.
And then how do we change things, you know, for the better?
Yeah.
So those are all questions that we ask in the phone.
Yeah, good questions. And you know what? It's simpler than we think. I mean, the cleanup is a mess. The cleanup is hard, but we can continue to start. We can start to not make any more mess by
Right.
the choices that we make today.
Well, the key is to turn off the tap. And so turn off where it's the flow of plastic that's coming out.
Yeah.
Because the real problem is disposable single-use plastic.
Single-use plastic.
Which
yeah.
a lot of it's water bottles and also plastic bags. And so
Food packaging.
food packaging as
yeah.
well. And so there's a lot of things that we could do, like what you had mentioned in your plastics tips. When you mentioned cleanup, there's not much we can do about it because it's deep in the water column. And the thing about this plastic that's floating around, if you think of like every single piece of plastic that's ever created, you know, it's still either in a molecule form or a plastic piece form somewhere on a plant.
Wow.
It doesn't like biodegrade. And plastics just came into like, plastics came into its own around the 1960s, 1950s era. And so then the plastic production went up. Started really, you know, becoming so ubiquitous in our lives now. Like you can't go a day without touching plastic. There's your credit card. There's, you know, door handle, everything. And there's good uses for plastic.
Certainly, the single use is the problem. I always ask the question, why are we using a non-renewable resource for single-use purposes, like water bottle or iced tea? Like fuel, petroleum is non-renewable. It takes millions of years to create fuel. Where, you know, we are starting to see compostable plastics coming in the marketplace now. We're starting to see hemp plastics are more ideal, corn plastics are not ideal. It's a little bit hectic right now with like what's recyclable, what's compostable. The compostable plastic's going to ruin the recycled plastic.
Right.
So there's a lot of, you know, we're like in its infancy. We have a lot of room to grow there in terms of making the compostable plastic super clear. Actually, we should make it clear. We should make it like a tint green. We should make it indicate that it's compostable plastic.
A lot of the plastic congregates. So the area in the Pacific where, you know, it's estimated now, it's more now, the statistic, that it was 6 times as much plastic as plankton in this great Pacific garment convergence zone. All that plastic ends up because of the ocean current system on Midway Atoll and hitting the Northwest Hawaiian Islands, so it collects, and up to 20 tons of plastic a year collect up there.
Were you just shocked when you saw that?
It
We were
was
just like